Paul from Let's Bounce Guitars, and welcome back to my shop. I know it's been a while, but things happen, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm back. I'm going to do a video here on building a double cut, set neck, carved top guitar. That makes sense? Okay. Anyway, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a full build. I'm going to start from lumbar selection all the way to the end. It may take me a few videos in the series, but I'll try to make them as short as possible. But I want you to learn something if I can. If I can teach you something, hey, then that's what it's all about, right? So in this first video here, we'll go ahead and start out with some lumbar selection, okay? And what I have for that on the bench here is, okay, we'll start out with the body. This is a piece of kaya. Now, kaya is also known as African mahogany. And from my understanding, it's not in the mahogany family at all. If I'm wrong, please leave a comment below, but I'm pretty sure it's not even mahogany. But it looks like it. It's really nice. It's really pretty wood. And this one's got some ribbon strapping going down. It's really going to be a pretty piece. This is rough sawn right now. You can't really see it, but I've used this before, and it's a really nice wood. The problem is it's pretty heavy. This board right here weighs 16 pounds as it is, and it's not cut. It's just a blank. You know, it's way too much. It's more than I need for the guitar body, but it's pretty heavy. So a good thing about that is the customer wants a chambered body. Wants me to chamber it out. And we're going to go pretty deep with the chamber, so it's going to lighten up pretty good. So this is going to be the body piece, okay? And then we got a piece of curly maple, and this is a thick piece that I can resaw open into a book match, and that's going to be a nice piece to carve for the top. And then we also have for the neck, we have a piece of black limber. Actually, this is two pieces. This would be the back of the neck. It's two pieces. Now, I've already done a video on how I got this to this condition, or to this stage right here. So I'll show that video after this. After I'm talking here, I'll show you that video, and then we'll come back to it and we'll stop building this neck. But you'll see how this is done. And lastly, for the fingerboard, I've got a piece of Indian rosewood. It's a real nice piece. It's quarter sawn, and that completes the lumbar selection. So we're gonna start prepping this stuff up, and really I'm gonna start with the neck, because that's what I always start with. I start with the neck first. I pretty much get it just about all the way built before you even start a body. So I'll show you that video, and we'll come back here and we'll start back off with working on this neck and showing you some magic. All right. So I got some new templates, I got some new jigging and stuff like that, and you'll see all that. So we'll see how this goes. Anyway, without further ado, let's go to this video. So the first thing I do when I build a guitar is work on the neck. It's the most crucial part. There's a lot of steps to it, so I'll build the neck first, and then I'll move on to the body. So what I'm going to do is, like I said earlier, I want to join these two pieces of wood together like this. This is vertical grain this way. So I'm going to take these two surfaces on my joiner and flatten them out and get them to, and I'll probably take it over to my sander, but I get them to the point where they're flawlessly seamed together. I don't even want to see a seam if I can. That makes sense. Anyway, this is how we do it. So, they get a little loud, so turn your volume down a little bit. Alright, so this is the side I'm surfacing. let's get this thing glued up. I use tight bond on everything. I used to use some epoxies on some things like my inlays and stuff like that. I actually use super glue on some things too. But to join lumber, I use Titebond. I had a little roller. I don't know what happened to it. Disappeared somewhere. That's dry. I need some more. Need some more glue. Let's put some on there. But the little rollers work pretty good. I gotta get some more. Haven't been in the shop as much as I used to be. So I gotta catch back up. Things I need. This way here, and this way here. Now I'll squish them together, kind of move them around a little bit. That allows them to spread the glue a little more. This is probably overkill, this whole setup I got going on here, but it works. Keep the lumber together. This is going to be a very nice looking neck. You can already tell. Got a nice tight glue joint. It's going to look like a one piece. Alright then, we'll let that sit. Alright, so I did two sides. I did the top here, this surface, and this side here on the joiner. And then you saw me, I took it to the table saw and I squared it up on this side. And then I flipped it over and I brought it to the planer and ran it through the planer like this. So I'm nice and square all the way around in this piece. Looking good. The glue line is not visible. And I like the way this looks. But hopefully I retain a lot of that deeper down in here. See how it goes. So the next step on this is to get the headstock angle done. So I'm going to take it off of, let's see, what side do I want it from? I want that to be the back. I'm probably going to do it this way. So I'm going to take a 13-degree angle cut off of this. I'm going to go to my bandsaw with a jig that I have that's set up for, I can set up for different angles. Actually, I just use 13 and 9. I use a 9-degree headstock angle for a tremolo guitar. Non-trems get 13s. So we're going to cut that off like that. and we'll see how all that looks. All right, let's do this. All right, hopefully you can see this. I drew a line where I want my headstock brake angle to start. Of course, this is the fingerboard. The fingerboard gets glued onto this side. The angle is going to go this way. You can see another line I drew there. That's the 13-degree angle. So I'm starting from that point and cutting this way. So what I'll do is put the piece in this sled, this jig, and I'm lining up that line I drew on the top with the edge of this blade where it just starts to touch the blade. And that's where I want the cut to start. The blade is nice and parallel. You don't have to, but you can clamp up just for a little more security. So when I bring this into it, it's going to cut that angle all the way across here. 13 degrees. All right. Here we go. Now I'll take this to the sander and I'll sand this. I'll get the saw marks out of it. It always makes it a little rough in the beginning here because it's trying to grab, trying to bite in. So we'll take that out. It'll be nice and flat, and we'll have a 13-degree headstock angle. Piece of paper's getting old. Let's see what I can get out of it. Really doesn't take much. I'm going to make sure I establish this line. I want to make sure I keep this line. I'll square it off. I'll get a square. Make sure I keep that line as straight as possible. Alright, so I've got a nice squared up brake for the headstock angle, and it's, let's see here. Make sure we're at 13 degrees on this protractor, and we are at 13 degrees of an angle. Perfect. So what's next? All right guys, so we're back to this stage again, and we're ready to press on. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to use these templates I got here. I got two different templates. One is a routing template for the shape of the neck. One is for the truss rod. So I got something unique on these. I have these inserts in them, and they take these wooden dowels, we call them guide pins. They're 1/4-inch dowels that act as guide pins. I've seen this done in the CNC world. I've seen it the big factories. They find a way they pin the they use some kind of template. They pin it. They line up with the neck or the body, whatever. It goes in the CNC machine and lines up with these pins on the CNC machine. And of course, they use a vacuum to hold it down, and it routes it out. I've also seen some guys lately using these, guys like me to build the way I build. And said, you know what? I need to get on that bandwagon. I need to make something like that too. It's just going to make things better. I mean, less mapping out and measuring stuff. Anyway, so I've gone to this system. All these templates, you see the templates behind me here, they all work on this guide pin system. Everything back there can be interchangeable. Like if you want different pickups, I got some templates back there that have just single coils in them. Some have humbuckers in them. You can mix them up. No matter which one I use and what type of body I use, whether it's a single cut or a double cut, they'll line up perfectly. Less guesswork. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to double stick tape it to the neck blank. I'm going to drill out these 4 holes. I'm going to go about a 1/4 inch down into the body. And like I said, these are 1/4 inch dowels. And that's going to allow me to route out this body when I'm ready, or this should say this neck blank when I'm ready with this template. Now, since them holes are there, and they line up exactly with these on this template, it's going to allow me to put my truss rod exactly where I need it to go. It's going to be perfect. And on this, I use the bit design for the truss rod I'm using, and I use a guide on my router base. And the guide runs inside here, and it routes it all out. Now you can see down in this end, it gets a little wider for the barrel, and it gets even wider for the spoke wheel. And this is what I'm talking about right here. So it sits like that. It does it all in one shot. Now, I've normally used these, I've always used these on my bolt-on style necks. And it's a different process, and I have to show you that another time. I use a jig differently. I'm going to use the same jig in this video series, but I use it differently in when I do a bolt-on neck, because anyway, you'll see. I'll show you. But I've never done this on a set neck. I've always wanted to put the spoke wheel type in them, so I found a way. I finally got off my lazy duff and made this template. I don't like the truss rods that are on the nut side, because you have to cut out some lumber there to get access to the Allen head or whatever type you're going to put in. I usually use Allen head types. I think it's going to it weakens that area. Not that I've had any problems with those, knock on wood, right? But I just want to make it stronger. I'll make it better. Whatever I can do to make it better, that's what I'm going to do. So I think it's going to make it better. And it's easier to access this. You just need something that fits in there to tweak it. My necks, from what my players are saying, they rarely need any adjustments unless they're going from extreme weather conditions from state to state. They may tweak it a little bit, but it usually doesn't take much. So it's easy to just find something that fits in there and just kind of tweak it. You don't have to look for an Allen wrench. Anyway, I like this setup right here. I like what I'm doing here with these pins, these guide pins. This is the way I'm going to go. I do use a little bit of tape on them, just a little added insurance. You can see that in the rest of the video when I film the rest of this. But I'm just looking for more accuracy with this stuff. And I hope you like it. Let me know what you think at the end of this video in the comments below. Just tell me if I'm on the right track or not. Let me hear from you. Anyway, let's go ahead and finish up this video. So here we are at this stage, back to this stage. I've got my line established for my branch angle. I'm going to take this template right here, and I'm going to put some double stick tape on it. And this is going to get stuck down to the template here. I'm going to stick it down to the body of the blank. I just use about that much tape. I don't have to not really secure it that much. Just enough so that I can drill some holes for the template. So I've got some lines that I got to line up here on either side of this neck template, and a center line that I'm looking through this hole. There's a hole right here. I can see the line up right there. And then down this end, I'm going to line up the center of the template with the center of the neck blank. Okay, I got a piece of tape on the drill bit as a guide to doesn't allow me to go more than a 1/4 inch into it. And we're going to make a series of holes for the pins. These are steel inserts that I have in there. My hand is probably in the way. Right? Okay. Pull this template off for right now. You can see the holes. So now what's going to happen here, this template's going to go on here. This is going to be for my truss rod route. We'll put these 1/4 inch dowels, the wooden dowels. They fit really snug, and it's going to sit on here like this. Get them lined up. I'll sit flush. Okay, so that template's not going to move. Very secure. Here's my router, the bit, right here, and the guide. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to check the depth of it, set the depth up. So that's touching the lumber right there. And set this guide down, lock it in, and that's the depth I'm going to go. I'm just taking the steps. Right, let's see what we got here. Here we have it. That's a flush. Got all the room it needs for the barrel to work properly, and the spoke wheel. Like I said, the fingerboard will end right here. You go over this, and it'll be nice and flush with the end of it. So this jig, this template, routes everything all out at once for me. Okay, so I think that's going to do it for now. We've got a lot done so far. What's next? Well, we're going to make a fingerboard, and the fingerboard's made, and it's attached the same way using these guide pins. And we use this template right here to set those guide pins. And I'm going to show you what I use to do the fret slots and all that kind of stuff. We'll take it as far as we can next time. So don't forget to share, like, and subscribe if you haven't already. And please come back and visit me. For now, thank you, and we'll see you later.